Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we have a very exciting reading vlog, and that is because I'm going to be reading Alchemised by SenLinYu today. Well, today and probably for the next 3 days, realistically, because this book is 1100 pages. Oh no, it's 1000 and some change. So I'm going to try, while I've got a long weekend, to get this whole book finished in roughly 3 days. This will be the biggest, longest book I have ever read to date. So I'm so excited. There is no book right now that I want to read but this one, essentially. So I'm ready for emotional destruction and probably to be thoroughly confused because I have not got two brain cells to rub together. So first things first, I am taking the dust jacket off. This is a very slippy, slidey dust jacket. It like goes up and down on the book very easily, which sounds dodgy when I say that, but yeah. Let's just get straight into it. I'm so excited. I have no idea what this book is about. I have not read Manacled. I don't plan to, especially since now it's very hard to get a legal way of getting it. So I'm happy to just read this. I've heard it's very politics heavy and it's very reminiscent of the world that we are currently living in general. So that sounds great. Yeah, that's literally all I know, to be honest. All I know is that it's very heavy and dark, that it's very like politics heavy and based on a war. So that's literally all I know. I've managed to not have anything spoiled for me. I don't know how. I'm very lucky that TikTok hasn't given me this content yet. So yeah, without further ado, get a cozy snack, a cozy drink, get comfy. Let's get into the reading vlog. I'm 100 pages in and that does look like 10% of the book. It looks like I've not made a dent. Oh my god, this book is so long. I saw someone on TikTok earlier today say that they felt like they didn't know what was going on in terms of the magic and how things worked for a good few hundred pages, and yeah, that's how I currently feel. I'm very much like, there's not much that I currently understand. I'll be honest. I feel a bit dumb, but I'm hoping it's just gonna click at one point. Who knows? I am so mad on behalf of Helena. Farron has just said something that's paid me off, with no context. He said he was looking forward to breaking her, and then says, but I don't think it's possible to exceed what you've done to yourself. What do you mean what she's done to herself? She did nothing to herself. She hasn't done anything to herself. Other people have done things to her. And she has no idea what those things are. And I'm like, that must be such a terrifying feeling to know that someone, for some reason, has altered your memories and you don't know what they've made you forget, what they've altered, what is real and what's fabricated by this person, and also just to have completely forgotten, I think it's what, 19 months of your entire life. To have scars, you don't know where they've come from, and that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. I can't imagine how that would feel. Yeah, we're 10% into the plot, so much still has to happen yet. Not that I know what's gonna happen, I just know that there's 900 pages left. It sounds stupid, but Kingdom of Ash didn't feel this big. When I'm looking at it, it is, but it didn't feel it. This book feels as big as it is. And I don't just mean in size, I mean in reading it. Like, maybe it's because I feel a bit stupid in that I'm not fully understanding what's happening. Plot-wise, I know roughly what's going on. I just mean the deeper nuances within the story, I don't know. And like the world building stuff, I don't know. I feel like I've not started yet though. Like I feel like I've just scratched the surface. I think that's what it is. I think a lot's already happened, and I just feel like there's going to be so much that does happen that I just feel like I've barely scratched the surface. I feel like I've barely gotten into the story. So, God knows. But I currently don't see... Here's the thing. I read Rose and Chains a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't even a couple of weeks ago, it was like last week I read Rose and Chains. And that it was a similar concept of Hermione fanfic turned actual work of literature. Like fully formed, new world, new magic system, all that kind of stuff. And it was a similar concept of FMC has been taken and is now owned by the MMC. But I feel like in Rose and Chains, I felt like from the get-go there was something about Tovin that we knew he was on her side, or at least he was playing both sides, trying to figure out, he was trying to keep, like, save himself and play both sides. I don't feel that currently. Yeah, I just don't feel that currently with Ferren, so I don't know. But we have 900 pages to figure that out. So, I'm gonna go to bed, read a little bit more in bed, but I feel really tired. So, I'm probably not gonna get much more read today. And we'll pick up tomorrow when I've gotten a bit further into the story and hopefully have a better understanding of what's going on. Okay, well, not really read much today, not gonna lie to you. Is the camera still shaking? I don't know. I'm only just up to part 2, which is just under 300 pages in. So much has happened in the last 70 pages, it's not even funny. And I'm like, I don't even know where to begin with it. It is very dark. And if there's one thing it turns out I am slightly triggered by, it's eyes. You would have thought I would have figured that out when I read Butcher and Blackbird. In fact, any of Bryn Weaver's stuff, she always has eyes involved for some reason. You would have thought I figured that. I used to work in opticians and I was training for my Cert 3 before I left, and I remember distinctly sitting upstairs in the break room when I was on my study time learning about cataract surgery, and I felt so nauseous. It wasn't even funny. So eyes do really gross me out. I'm not gonna lie. I've downloaded the audiobook. I've got a free trial of, I don't know what it's called, Everand. Because I've run out of my Spotify listening hours and I didn't want to have to pay for Audible for a month. So I did in fact download Everand. Oh. Why is that got music to it? Okay, anyway. So right now I've had some jobs to this evening, so I downloaded the audiobook so I could listen to it and read as much as I could that way, because I want to have this book finished tomorrow. And the only way I'm going to do that, I think, is if I immersive read it with the audio on 2.5 speed. To be honest. Anyway. Yes, eyes. I was making my bed and something eye related happened and I was like, oh, I don't like this at all. And it's the only thing I've had a reaction to, weirdly enough. Still wasn't a big one, but yeah. I'm very good at separating from fiction. If I know something's fiction, I'm very good at separating from it emotionally, to be honest. So I just feel like this is only going to get so much worse. Okay, yes, I'm wearing the same sweatshirt as yesterday. Let's just ignore that fact. I am over halfway now. I'm on chapter 50, which is just over 600 pages in. I'm chomping at the bit to get to part 3, okay? And part 2 is lasting so long. And we ended part 1 on a cliffhanger. So part 1 is like present time. And then part 2 is like 3-4 years before. So we're learning everything that she's forgotten. And none of what's in here is fluff. Everything feels necessary, nothing's dragged out. But we have like a good few years of information that we kind of need to know, and it's a war and things are always happening. So it's taking so long to get to part 3. which is when we're back in present day. And I simply can't wait that long. I really wanted to have finished this book today, but I would have had to sit and read for 12 hours, and I had a video to edit and upload, which is currently uploading. So it's not happened. If I had read better yesterday and the day before, then maybe I could have finished this today. But unfortunately, we haven't. So far though, I have to say, haven't felt particularly emotional. Haven't felt particularly devastated at any point of this. There's a lot happening, and it's all very like heavy. There's been nothing happy happen, I think, at all throughout this whole entire book. Nothing happy has happened. Happiness is not an emotion I have felt while reading this book. It is everything has been very dark, but something's missing for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna get to it later. Maybe I'm not meant to have felt emotionally destroyed yet. I don't know. Yeah, I am gonna read some more tonight as much as I can. I've got about 400 pages left, so not bad going really, considering this book is over 1,000 pages. Like, I've still read 600 pages in 3 days. That's not bad. Or listened to. I've done like a mix of both. I have listened to a lot of the audiobook today. I want to try and read as much as I can of the rest of it though, because I do find I connect better with books that I physically read. So part of me is wondering, is it because I've listened to a lot of the audiobook that's making me feel a slight emotional disconnect? I don't know. I have no thoughts though as well. I have no thoughts. I'm just reading, I'm just here, and there's nothing going through my mind aside from, wow, these people are awful. Like, it's very clear, this is the thing, it's very clear, especially now we're in part 2, like the side she's on is they're not good people either. Like, there are no good, it's not good versus evil, it's evil versus evil. It's just one side thinks that they are more just than the others because they don't use dead bodies. But at the end of the day, they're still racist as fuck. Like, my god. And they're still very phobic of anything that's not what they've decided is normal and correct. So like, her side is still not a good side by any means. It's just the other side is worse. So it is very like, there's no winning almost, because regardless, there's something wrong with the scheme. There's something wrong with the regime's just not actually for the greater good of everyone. I don't know. I'm dying to be back in current times. Or this is the thing. Like I say, I am enjoying every part of reading this book. Like, I'm not feeling bored. I mean, when I say I'm enjoying it, because like I say, it's very dark subject matter. I'm not bored at all while reading this book, and I've gotten past that part of feeling really stupid. I've just come to, it's just sunk in now that I'm not fully gonna quite understand everything. I think if I read it a couple times, eventually it would sink in and it would click. Yeah, it's not that I'm not enjoying the reading process. It's not that I'm bored. It's just that was a bit of a cliffhanger, and it feels like how I imagine reading Throne of Glass and not doing the tandem read would feel like. If you read Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn separately and not together, after the ending of Empire of Storms, then having to go and read the whole of Tower of Dawn, that's how that feels right now. I can't imagine that, because you'd be like, oh my god, the biggest cliffhanger ever, what the fuck? And then just have to go back and read someone else's point of view, even though this is the same person's point of view, but they're practically different people because they are so different, because she's been irrevocably changed in present time. So it's practically in someone else's point of view. That's how this currently feels. It feels as if I didn't do the tandem read of Throne of Glass. That's the best way I can describe it. And so I'm just dying to get to part 3 and know what's going to happen, and like, are they going to be okay? But then obviously I've got more information I need to know for that to really hit. I've got about 240 pages, because I did double check when part 3 starts. I've got about 240 pages until I get there, so that's not happening tonight. Okay, anyway. I feel like this hasn't been much of a reading vlog, considering I think I've done, what, 3 clips and I'm 600 pages in? But I feel like I've not had a lot to say in the middle of things. There's not been a lot of... because anything I could talk to you about is a spoiler. And this is the kind of thing where you really don't want to spoil it for people. I also have to say, all of this talk about obviously alchemy, homunculus, chimeras, it's really making me want to rewatch Full Metal Alchemist again. Like, I watched Full Metal Alchemist well over a decade ago, thoroughly enjoyed both Brotherhood and the original, but Brotherhood is better. This is making me really want to reread. Every time I see the word homunculus or chimera, it's making me want to rewatch Fullmetal Alchemist, because it is one of the best anime out there, in my humble opinion. It's also making me want to rewatch Harry Potter, not because literally nothing about this resembles Harry Potter in the slightest. This is a completely new magic system, a completely new world. If I didn't know this was Harry Potter fan fiction originally, I would not pick that up in this book. It is so much its own thing. The characters are so much their own characters. I can't decide who was meant to be who in the original, like, Manacled. Like, SenLinYu has really done an amazing job at creating a whole individual world. But because I know it's fan fiction originally, it's making me want to rewatch Harry Potter, I'm not gonna lie. And also it's the time of year for Harry Potter because it's autumn and winter. But I'm really wanting to rewatch Fullmetal Alchemist. I might watch a couple episodes tomorrow, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not being funny, I feel like there's been a sudden switch that has flipped. And Kane is like, I don't know, he's having his sweet moments and I don't know how to take it. I'm struggling with how he is treating her now compared to how he treated her in the beginning. I'm like, what happened? I'm thinking, like, how was he treating her like that at the beginning when this is how he currently feels about her so clearly? Oh, I don't know, because he was really awful. He was just so uncaring. Unless it's because, like, he's changed somehow. Like, he was obviously changing a lot through this. Maybe he changed again and for the worse. I don't know. This man has become so, like, enamored, obsessed, possessive. And I am here for it. I'm loving it. Are you telling me she is the one that she made that and now she, right, okay, well, she had the idea, she didn't make it. But it was her idea that, right, okay, I don't want to say anything to spoil it, but the things we're learning in part 2 really put a lot of things from part 1 into context that make them even worse. For 4 weeks, this man has been sleeping in a chair beside her bed. 4 weeks. She's literally doing what we need to get back to the present time start, because I can't take any more of this. I can't take any more of the parallels, and I need her to know. Yeah. Okay, we're into part 3, and I feel like after all of that, I need to reread part 1. Okay. I'm gonna read 1 chapter of part 3, and then I need to go to bed. I've been dying for this, and now I feel like, I don't even know. I feel like if I didn't have work tomorrow, I would stay up to read this book and finish it all night. But I'm going to force myself to go to bed. I'm 870 pages in and I've yet to cry, but my eyes have burned quite a few times today alone while reading this, so I just have a really bad feeling about this ending. I don't think it's going to be a happy ever after, and I'm really scared about that. My eyes are burning again. I feel like I could cry. I just I've not quite been there yet. Okay, I'm going to go to bed and we're going to finish this tomorrow when I'm back from work. Okay, I feel like I've looked so rough for the majority of this video, and I'm so sorry. Last night, I didn't even finish the chapter I was on. Oh! When did I finish the chapter? I could have sworn I went to bed last night in the middle of a chapter. Maybe that was the night before. I'm really tired and I'm struggling. Okay, maybe that was the night before. I'm lying to you. Anyway, I'm so full. I had a massive portion of pasta and I ate it so quickly that I didn't register within my stomach, within my body, that I was full until I had already finished everything. And now I'm feeling like I'm 3 times the size I am. Anyway, we're on chapter 67, 870 pages in, so we have 150 pages left tonight to read. It's just after 8 o'clock. It's Halloween. It's the last day of October. This needs finishing tonight, babe, because tomorrow it's November. I need to turn the... Oh, that's going to keep beeping if I don't go and turn the dishwasher off. Okay, we've got 150 pages left. I'm hoping it makes me cry. Let's get into it. Let's do this. Let's finish the longest book I have ever read. Oh my god. Is he going to die at the end of this? Because I'm not going to be happy if he dies. I'm really not. I feel like at the minute he's planning on the fact that he's going to die. I've been on the phone now to my mum for 40 minutes. So it's now 9 o'clock. Still got like 150 pages to go. I have not even done a chapter yet. Like, I think he's genuinely thinking, I'm hoping that another country invades this country, because both sides of the war, neither were good. I'm like, at this point, I kind of think, yeah, another country needs to just take over. I don't think anyone from the Eternal Flame, if there is anyone left, is with anything. Like, they're not good people either. And obviously, Moreau's people are all not very good. Like the necromancers aren't good. It's just... The best way to describe this story of, like, why both sides are bad... The necromancers are trying to achieve something that is unnatural and are like killing people for the people who are immortal to gain anything from it. So it's like using people. Whereas then the other side, the resistance, the Eternal Flame, are just racist. And they believe only one type of magic is worthy. Like, they think alchemy is the only type of magic that's worth anything. And the Vivimancers and the Animancers are like, yeah, you're terrible. You kill your parents when you're in utero and what have you. Well, kill your mum. And they're just very racist about magic. And also just happen to be racist about anyone from a different country, because they've been treating Helena differently because she's from the south. So... yeah, you've got racists and people willing to kill for power. So really, you can't win. You can't win. So just another country needs to come in and just take over, quite frankly. That's it. I'm done. I didn't cry. I've got a little bit teary a couple of times. I don't know what to rate this book. I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't feel so emotionally connected to it. But this book, genuinely, is amazing, because like the storytelling, the writing was amazing, like the world building and the magic and everything, like it's just immaculate. But I feel like I didn't get like super emotional and invest in the characters. I don't know why. I feel like if I reread this though, I maybe would. I don't know. But this book was so good. I'm gonna sleep on it. And then I'm gonna catch up with you in the morning with a proper wrap up to what I think about the book. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm just gonna like sit back here because I have a cyst on my chin that just looks really gross. So I'm just gonna sit as far back as I can that you can't see it. Okay. My thoughts on Alchemised. I have none and so many at the same time. I decided I'm reading this 4 stars, and I would like to preface everything I'm about to say with I did like this book. I did really like this book. However, I am disappointed only because I was expecting this to be a 5-6 star read. I was expecting to be sobbing every other page at this, or at least once. And I did get teary-eyed a few times, but never to the point where I was like actually gonna cry. And I never felt it in my chest or in my brain, this like emotional devastation. And I think I have a few reasons as to why I think that is. I think part of the fault is on me, in that obviously by the time this video goes up, it's gonna be, well, it's November today, but by the time this video goes up, it's November. The whole of October I've been really quite unwell with my chronic fatigue syndrome, and I'm still not well to be honest. And I feel mentally really tired and drained, and I'm physically very tired and drained. And I think on one hand, I was expecting that to make me want to cry more, because in some ways I constantly at the minute just want to cry. But in another way, I feel like I was so tired mentally that I just couldn't like process any emotions I was feeling while reading this book. So I think it's partly because of that. And I also think, I'll be honest with you, I've read some really dark stuff in my AO3 time. And I mean, I've read some dark romance since I got into reading like physical, traditionally published like works of like fiction. But there was 2 fanfics that stand out in my mind that were truly really dark. And to be honest with you, they probably are not even as dark as everything that happens in this. And those books did emotionally destroy me. I think I am just a little bit desensitized to dark themes in fiction, because I really do separate fiction from real life. Hence why I don't normally get triggered by books, because there is that mental separation for me. It's not even a conscious thing. I just subconsciously separate myself from whatever it is I'm reading. So I think part of it is on me, that I didn't have this big emotional reaction that I was expecting to have and kind of wanting to have, because it's cathartic to have that. I also think it's partly on the author, because I'll be honest with you, I imagine reading this as Manacled would hit completely differently, because it's characters. You've got 7 books. 8 books? 8 books, 7 movies, yeah. You've got 8 books. No, 7 books, 8 movies. How many is there? You've got however many books there are in the Harry Potter This is what I mean. I can't even talk because my brain simply isn't functioning currently. Harry Potter, really. There's however many books in the Harry. I'm actually gonna scream. I can't function currently. This is what I mean. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just so tired. There are however many books in the Harry Potter series that you have as a backdrop to Manacled, to feel connected to the characters that you are already invested in from the series. And I think because when I was reading this, none of this resonated with Harry Potter. None of this was even slightly reminiscent of Harry Potter. I was not thinking about Harry Potter. I kind of want to read Harry Potter because I know it was a fanfic, but I mostly actually want to watch Fullmetal Alchemist because of this, because the alchemy aspect was very similar to Fullmetal Alchemist. Yeah, I was not thinking about Harry Potter when reading this, and therefore I couldn't tell, aside from obviously Hermione and Draco being like those two, I was like, for some characters I was like, well, which Harry Potter character is this going to be? I wasn't sure, to be honest, because I haven't read Manacled, so I don't know who's going to be who. And I just felt that there wasn't, even with Helena and Luke, we don't understand why she loves him so much and why his loss would be such a big grief to her, because we don't see the strength of their connection, the strength of their bond. We don't see why it's been forged so strongly, even though it has. Like, she was literally doing anything for Luke. The things she did, because she was also a bit of a morally grey character. She did some awful things, and for her it was for the sake of Luke. And in part 2, where you're in the 4 years in the past, even then she's barely with Luke. I don't understand. So there's that disconnect for me of feeling for the characters, and I just think there wasn't a lot of backstory into the characters to feel that real connection with them. And I think that's also a problem. I haven't felt super connected to the characters. And I think that's also why there hasn't been that real emotional impact for me. So I think there just needed to be a little bit more work, because realistically, when you're writing a fan fiction, you don't need to put a whole lot of work into establishing the characters, because they are already established characters. When you're writing regular fiction, you do have to put that extra work in, because they're your characters, you're building them from scratch, and you're wanting your readers to have that real emotional connection to them. You want them to root for the character or hate the character, depending on what the character's meant to be there for, as a plot device or whatever. So I really feel like that was lacking in the book, and I think that's part of it. I think part of it is just right book, wrong time. Even though I was dying to read this book, I just think mentally I wasn't able to really process it. And so I'm a little bit annoyed at myself for reading it now, because now I'm like, could I have had a better experience and the experience I wanted if I read it at a time where maybe I was ready for it? And I'm like, could I have had the chance of that experience and I've ruined it for myself? But also, I don't know when I'm gonna feel better. So realistically, I don't know when I'm gonna feel better. So do I just put off reading everything because I mentally can't like process it as well at the minute, because my mental function just isn't as good? I don't know. Yeah, I will say, like I mentioned, I am very desensitized to dark matter, and I'm not someone who is easily triggered in the slightest. So maybe take note when I say this. This is very dark. The subject matter in this book is very dark. It's very traumatizing, and there are certain scenes. I've seen someone on Goodreads feel a very certain way about this book. It was a very, very, very long 1-star review, and she felt a certain way about the essay scenes in this book. And I understand where they're coming from, but from my point of view, I read Still Beating earlier this year by Jennifer Hartman, and it was a very similar concept to the essay. If you've read the book, you'll know what I mean. And it's too nuanced, there's too many factors in it to really think one way about it, and I don't know, there's too much to this particular reason why it happened and the people involved. There's too much nuance to this particular depiction of SA to really be able to say definitively the level of how bad it was, or how the level of being able to get over that. Like I don't know how to word things without spoiling anything for you, because I don't want this to be a spoiler vlog. Yeah, I did like the characters, I liked the progression. And I stand by the point of, and like we've got Ferren, who is he is morally black. He is, to be honest, evil as a character. The things he does, the reason behind it being what it may, he did some really evil things. He's morally black. But I also feel so deeply for him because he has experienced torture in so many different ways. And I think everyone in this book is just kind of trying to survive, and they're having to do these awful things just to try and survive. So again, I don't even know how I feel about Ferren, because part of me is like, no, he is just evil. He is morally black. He's done some absolutely awful things. He's killed so many people. But also part of me is like, but he was a kid and he had to watch something so awful, and then he had this horrible thing happen to him to make him who he is now. He spends the majority of the book being tortured in ways that a human wouldn't be able to live through. So it goes further than like regular torture, because it's so difficult to kill him, and then he gets tortured to the point of death and then heals basically multiple times for anything. And like, I've said this before during the video, but both sides of this war are awful people. Like there is no good on this, in this war. There's no good side. It's not good against evil. It's just evil against slightly more evil in a different way. Yeah, I have a lot of feelings about this book. I am rating it 4 stars, like I say. I thought it was really well written, and I thought the story, it flowed nicely. Part 2 did start to drag a little bit, but I understand why it needed to do so. And I thought the magic system was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was hard to understand at first, but eventually, I mean, you've got 1,000 pages to understand it. It made a lot more sense as you were going on. And now I am, in fact, going to rewatch Fullmetal Alchemist, probably Brotherhood, but I'll probably watch both, to be honest, because Brotherhood's the better one. And they have different endings. Like, oh my god, so I have to watch them both, realistically, because they have different endings. I've not watched anime for years, and now I'm just like, no, I have to watch Fullmetal Alchemist. So, anyway, I am going to leave this video here, because I don't know how long this video is. I feel so disappointed with this video, because I feel like I just haven't reacted to anything. I've filmed the last 600 pages non-stop of this book, and I don't think you'll get many reactions out of it, to be honest. And I am really disappointed in this video because of that, because I just haven't had the reaction I wanted to have. So yeah, regardless, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. Hopefully the next reading vlog will be better and it will be something I feel is a good video, because I don't currently feel like this one probably is a very good video, but I'm still going to put it up because I did want to do a reading vlog for Alchemised, and it's my real thoughts, it's my honest opinion, and I don't want to fake that. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.